Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're doing another patch reaction video. As always, I get the patch notes early as the LOR report. So I do this is like, hey, I'll share my opinions. I record this before the patch gets released for everyone else, but then release it just as the patch drops so that no one else gets spoiled. Because honestly, I really like it when people don't get spoiled and then they see like patches like you're going to see in a second where you get some wild changes. It's very nice. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the scene, and you're going to see the overview that I've made for the patch. So, here we go. So, hello, welcome. As you can see, there's quite a lot on the plate for this balance patch. We have 31 buffs, which are over here, and I've just realised that that subscriber thing is up there. Yeah, we'll keep it there for now. To no one, I'm going to get rid of it. Goodbye. So, yeah, 31 buffs, and there is 15 nerfs. There's 2 adjustments, and just under me is Momentous Choice, which is bugged, which is getting a bug fix in this patch, which is it's about time. So what we'll do is we will just go next, and we'll just go to the slides. I've made all the images already, and then we'll just go and then we'll talk about the changes as we go. So the first one is adjustments, which is the Portal Pioneer is now going to be a Yordle, which I think means it can be played in the Nico deck, because I'm pretty sure you can include Yordles? I'm actually going to check that, because if it does, it means that Nico now has access to a couple spells, which she didn't have previously. Okay, we're going to type Nico, and we're going to click, and Nico's origin is birds, cats, dog, Elnock, Fae, reptile, spider. Okay, so it's not a Yordle. Okay, never mind. This one, it's probably good for like the Nora deck then. But apart from that, yeah, it's just an adjustment. And then Cold Shot, going from slow to focus. It's a fine change. Yeah, there's not much to say about this. Like, this now, it's just a focus speed draw one. Like, slow and focus are very, very similar. Like, you can't do it in combat. And it's just like, okay, I'm going to play this, and then I'm going to play another card. So, I like this change. It probably should fall under buff, but Riot call it adjustment, so I call it adjustment. Okay, going on to the next page, I think we're starting with the buffs first. So, yes, we are. The first one, I saw Omenhawk was getting a buff, and I was like, okay, I have no idea what you're going to change to this card. Maybe make this a 3, but then that would be insane. So, I was very interested to see what was going to go on here. So, as you can see, Omenhawk is gaining the text. I can now block units with elusive. So, the sharp sight keyword, but it's a text. They explain that this is for elusive units, and yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting that we're buffing Omenhawk. Like, Omenhawk's one of those cards where I think that if you give it a buff, it can go so dangerous. So we'll have to see how this does, but like, I like that this now is a way that we can deal with elusives as mid-range Freljord, which is like what I normally play, so we like that. The next card is Wings of the Cryo Phoenix, a card that has not really seen play ever, and the only difference is now is that when you're enlightened, instead of dealing it to all units, you just deal it to enemy units. So it's nice. I don't know if this will see any play in the future, so we'll have to wait and see. It's a buff, 100% it's a buff, but I still think it's a bit too slow. They might run it as a one-of in some Freljord control ramp decks. I'm not too sure. And then this one is the Tusk Raider, which is Sejuani's boat, and it's gaining 1 health, going to 8, which you will see quite a lot of in this patch. There's quite a lot of cards that are going to 8, which means the Titanic pool is opening up. So the Clash of Titans, I think it's called, is getting maybe some buffs. You'll just have to see the cards that get done, but like this card now, like I like the idea of having a ramp into Tusk Raider for a Sejuani deck and just double all the stats. Yeah, I like it. It's a small buff. It just means you can build a lot more stuff, so I like it. So let's go to the next one. Okay, so more Freljord cards. We have Wrath of the Freljord is gaining the new play effect of Frostbite an enemy. I assume this is going to be like immediately, like it is with the Iceveil Archer. They don't tell me in the patch notes, so we'll just have to wait and see. But sure, it just means that they're like, hey, that unit it should go through Spell Shield, so like Spell Shield units, if it is like the Asphael Archer, it's just a good late game bomb. It'll be like, okay, I'm playing against an Aatrox deck, I Frostbite the Aatrox, and maybe the... I mean, Aatrox isn't a good example, but you know what I mean, like, Frostbite a big unit, that can't block now because of the text on this. Berserker Ursine is getting +1/+1. It's potentially going to help him see more play, but I still think this is not enough for the card. I don't know. I just feel like you need to flip the stats of this for it to see play. Like, maybe as a 3/5. But I don't know. You'll have to see. It's very dangerous, this card, I think. So yeah, but we'll just have to wait and see. And then Flamecaller Caprine, I'm going to call this. Is swapping its stats. You can't tell. Let me undo my my webcam and let's just move me down. There you go. Flamecaller Caprine is going from a 3/2 to a 2/3. I think this is insane. This card is, you kind of have to deal with it straight away. In the decks that it's played in, like, it's just Frostbite and Sky Splitter and all that kind of stuff. It's like, oh yeah, that's kind of scary if you're the opponent, you can't deal with this. And the fact of now, it's now at the 4 health, because it's 3+ tough, so you have to deal 4 damage to this to kill it. 4 health is very good for combat tricks. Like, there's not many of them. So, like, having the 3+ tough, very scary. I definitely think we'll see this card pop off a lot more now. So I like this change. I'm not too sure about this one. And I like this one. I don't know if it will see a lot of play, but it probably will, because of this. Literally, having 2 to 3 is massive because of the tough. Okay, the next one. These were like, there's 2 changes here that are like spicy. This is the first one. Atakan is getting a play effect of reviving the strongest dead ally, which is like, huh, that's very interesting, because there's the potential that if you're playing Atakan, that the highest attack of the unit is going to be an Atakan. Even though he has 5, you could build your deck around it so that he summons himself, if you have multiple in the deck. So, I know someone's going to have fun with this. Sonny probably, the Margin will probably try and build something around this. Like, literally everyone's going to try and make something with this, because it's a very fun card. Here's the second Titanic buff. So, Titanic is gaining +1/+1. This card probably still won't see in play, apart from when you get it from a Titanic. Call Clash of the Titans, whatever it's called. Yep, very interesting to potentially get this on a roll. Like 8/5 Challenger Overwhelm. Pretty good. And then Noble Rebel is losing Overwhelm and becoming Challenger, which this card is technically a 3-mana 5/3 with Challenger. It's just gonna be good. Like, I actually think that this is good now. Like, we've seen what the discard decks do with Challenger. We've seen it in the past. So yeah, no, this is very good. I like this. I mean, I probably won't play the deck, but like, this is a good change. I think it'll help it see play. So just to recap, love this change. This is just for the Titan spawn thing, and this is a good change. Okay, here's my favorite change of this patch. Lord Eldred is gaining the text, when an ally survives damage, grant it +1/+1. This is... It's Gargran's on a unit, and it's in Demacia. Like, it's made for me. Like, oh, I love it. Like, tough is potentially my most favorite keyword. Like, it's so good. Like, you just interrupt pings. Like, I'm playing this in my formidable decks now. Like, you slam this in your formidable decks, because it's like, well, all of my formidable units now have tough, and you can give them health if they survive, and the fact it's a Titan, so you can like get this out early with the Sigil card that they play in the deck now. Really good. I love this change. Clock Hand is getting a buff. It's a Titanic unit now. I don't know if it'll see anything. Potentially you might see this in Thralls, and they'll try and cheat this out with like Sigils and Talia. It's potentially a deck. We'll just have to see how it goes. But I like it, sure. No complaints here. Exhaust, going from Focus to Burst. Very cool change. They specifically said that this region needs to deal with elusives better, because they really only have Quicksand. So if you don't have Quicksand, it's like, oh, well, I can't have any other card. So like they were like, hey, we're gonna let this be burst speed now, which I think is fine. Like you're always pre-committing this anyway, so like using it as a defensive thing, like potentially in League, I like it. It's a cool buff. So my favorite change is this, and I like this one, and I think this one's really good. I like this one as well. So next one, Ionia. Ooh, Ionia have quite a lot of changes this patch. So Singular Will is going from 10 mana to 9 mana, which, like, sure, it's like removal, but you don't really lose the cards. So sure, we'll accept it. Like, this card never saw play, and if it did, it was like maybe as a one-off. So maybe we'll start seeing play again. Ari is changing her level up condition from recalled 6+ units to recalled 5+ units. It should help her see more play, and yeah, we'll maybe see some Ari decks popping back up, which we've not seen for quite a while because the deck got killed after its dominance. The next one is Children of the Forest is basically becoming a like 2-choice spell. So it's going to change to a 2-cost card that recalls an ally at slow speed. But if you want to, you can spend 8 mana and then get the original effect, which is like, sure, I still don't think this like 8 mana effect thing is going to do much. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see, because like it's followers though, so like you can't get Ari, and I can't think of anything else that you want to recall in that deck. I mean, I can't remember the deck, to be like greatly honest. Like I can't remember what's in there apart from like all the recall units, and they're all small, so it's like strongest ones, like I don't know. But like sure, I like this. Like sure, Next one, did I skip one? No, I didn't. Next one, oh look, another Titanic unit is appearing. The Zorn Diva. So she's going to get pulled from the Titanic pool now. And she's just a base 8/5 because she's a play effect. This is like really bad for Titanic decks, but sure, it's a buff for Piltover and Zorn, sure. Consult the Heavens this is an interesting change. So this card is a 6-mana burst, fully heal an ally, then grow its power to equal its health. It's changing to slow, and it does it to all allies. So it's like Wish on steroids. I play TK Raka quite a lot. Soraka was my most played champion until Garen took over. I will definitely be trying this, but we'll just have to wait and see. It's really expensive, that's the only issue. TK Raka really likes to have small spells, so like your most expensive spell was like Bastion, because it was like, okay, if I hold up 4, I can hold up Bastion, and I can hold up my heal for Grant for, or whatever the card is. Not Astral Protection. You know what I'm on about them. But yeah, so I like the change because this card never really saw any play. So like, sure, let's go for a different direction with it. I don't know if it will see play though. This card, however, I'm going to try and build a Kale deck around this because a 3-mana 3/3 is like actually good stats. Like, it's just base stats for a 3-drop, and yeah, I wanna try and build something with Kale with this. Whether it's playing Gemcrafter and then using Divine Blessing, I think it's called, the 2-mana, give a unit to +1/+1, and then a unit in hand +1/+1. There's the potential that you could then give that unit in hand +2/+2 because of this hitting it. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I like this change. So like, sure, this is just like, this feels bad for Spawn Titan card. We'll have to see how this goes in Eternal. Even though it's in Standard, you're only going to see this in Eternal. Maybe you'll see, like, I don't know, Legend or Visionary making a deck around this. And then Gemcrafter, I like this change. It just makes it playable. Okay, the next one. Okay, you can see this one here. We'll get to this one. Brash Gambler gets Brash. Sure. Maybe it sees play, but I'm not 100% sure. Deep Buff, cool for Deep. It's gaining an extra health from the Megatusk. Sure. I mean, it's a buff, right? It's healthier. It can survive in combat more. And then if it's like blocking before the deep, it can then heal itself up. And yeah, sure, we'll accept it. And then the main one here, which is the one that Biotac has been asking for fucking months now, is that the King's Court, he wanted it to summon Jack. And it's finally going to be a Jack boat. It's a boat that summons Jack. We'll have to see what's going to happen here because Jack is still awful. However, there is other cards that I think are on the next slide, which should help Jack a little bit more. So you don't know. Maybe this is just maybe this is what the deck needed. So, Mad Old Babs is changing from a 2-mana 1/3 to a 2-mana 0/3 with a tune. So basically the exact same, but you refill mana. I say that technically it's a 1-mana card now because of the attune, but I don't know. Maybe we see more play of this. It's a weird card. Like, I don't know, unless they're gonna print more like spell refill cards in Bilgewater. We'll have to see. And then this one here, very quick, is these two are swapping keywords, and then but this one is gaining 1 attack to go with the Overwhelm, and I think that's just better. Like, you want the biggest unit to have Overwhelm, and then the middle one to have Brash. Personally, like, I think that was always the play. Looking back on it, and it just makes sense that we're doing this now. So potentially we could see Jack return to standard, like in play with all of his package, because we had Angel as well, who got the Plunder buff with the coins. So maybe we'll see a combo deck come out somewhere. The next ones, Linal Guardian is gaining 1 more attack. So this is like an Ari card. Potentially, you're going to use this with Children of the Forest? I don't know. Sure. This can exist. I'll allow it. Yol Explorer is getting 1 health. We dealt with this card in the past because it used to give health. Seems like he's just giving it himself now. Sure, we'll just have to maybe be careful when we're looking at this. The issue that I have with the Bandle Swarm decks are the Owls. Oh no, the Owls are phase, right? Never mind. I don't know then. There's probably a card that will break this again. For now, sure. Like, the card's not seen play. Let's give him some more action. And then the funny one is you no longer. So this card was like, some people probably don't even know this exists. It's a 7-mana 6/6, and when you attack, it takes 1 of your spell mana and summons a 4/2 with the Overwhelm when your units attack. And it no longer takes the mana anymore. It just summons a 4/2 Overwhelm, which is I don't know. It's pretty good, I guess. Like, I still don't know what decks you're going to be running this in, but it's a nice change. Maybe we see some play. Okay, so we got 2 more buffs, I think. Let me just open the oh, we're having technical difficulties. Sorry. So yeah, we got 2 more buffs, and then we are going to be rotating to the nerfs. So Haunted Tomb is 3 mana going to 2. Maybe we see some Revive the Strongest Ally decks come out. For 2 mana, it's just a straight up buff. Well, I don't know how else you could change this. Maybe apart from the countdown. And I guess if they want to try that, they could do 3 mana countdown 1 if this doesn't work. But I don't think I'll be building a deck around this anytime soon. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. And then Harrowing Return is the only difference. They changed the wording a bit, but like all you need to know is that the card's getting fearsome, that's summoned, so that like it can't be chump blocked anymore, which is like a nice change. But like I think the cards that you use this with is like Nocturne and oh wait, no, it's Allied Follower. Maybe it's not Nocturne. Maybe it's another fearsome unit though. Like it's bad if it's not a buff if the unit's already fearsome basically, but if it isn't already fearsome, it's a buff. It should be interesting. And then the last one is Teemo level 2 is getting a buff, but it doesn't. Oh, I've like misspelled minimum here. It's minimum. I'll have to go back and change that. So Teemo level 2, instead of just doubling the buff caps, he will always plant 5. So like this is for Path of Champions specifically because they're getting like their own mode now. Not mode, they're getting a Sol who can give level 2 champions in the deck, and if you get a level 2 Teemo, you can't put, like, unless you have puff caps, like Generator, you don't plant anything. So they're changing him, so yeah, that. And then Kayn Shadowstep is going from 4 to 3 mana, which I think is huge. Like, I was playing Kayn Aatrox this open, and the deck felt very good. And I was like, this Kayn Shadowstep card is very good. I like this. And you could potentially now, on turn 5, play Kayn. If your opponent taps out and you have 3 mana, you can Shadowstep to give Kayn quick attack. He will kill the unit, and then he can go back into attack with quick attack, and then choose the thing because he's got Challenger anyway. Like, I think this is huge. Like, I'm gonna be cooking something this expansion, this patch when it comes out. But yeah, that's the end of the buffs and the adjustments. So we're going on to the nerfs, and the first nerf, unfortunately, is to our boy Balin. Balin has been hit. He didn't really see that much play in the meta recently because of the other decks that were doing good. Like, Warden outstatted him. Jan and Neela just, like, kind of pinged all the units so you weren't doing any damage. Like, it was kind of annoying. But, you know, the hit a man while he's down. Balin gets to the nerf. Basically, the Balin that attacks won't get buffed by his, like, attack thing. But if you have two Balins on the board, he will buff the other one, and the other one will buff him. Basically, this is the same thing that they did to Bannerman in, like, beta for elites. And, I mean, I saw it coming. I said to buy attack yesterday in a call. I was like, listen, they gotta nerf Balin somehow, and if they gotta do it, they gotta do this exact thing. And then I look at the patch notes the next day, and they do the exact thing. So we'll just have to see how this affects him. Maybe they can give it him back. We'll see. Innovative Blacksmith finally getting the change that everyone wanted. Going from a 2-2 to a 1-2 just means that she's not throwing as much damage at you. I guess we'll just have to wait and see how this does. Like, I think it's deserved. Well, yeah, like I said, we'll just have to wait and see if people are still running. But Jack's decks get a nerf here. The Ornn decks get a nerf. Freljord gets a bit of a nerf. Speaking of Freljord nerfs, the next card. Warden of the Tribes, reverting back to 9 mana. This card, when it came out, I was like, yeah, not that good. I played it in, like, my elite version of the deck, and it stole wins so many times at 9 mana. Because I was like, everyone's like, 9 mana Demacia, Freljord, what are you gonna do? And then I drop a Warden of the Tribes down, and they're like, oh, I wasn't preparing for that. Because you had, like, Elite, Bird, Dog, Weapon Master. I threw in the Reptiles. Like, on average, it was giving, like, +4, +4, +5, +5. And, like, for Demacia, like, that's all you want to do. You just want to trade your units and then, like, go away afterwards and then come back for more. And, yeah. So, this being reverted, especially after the Open where we saw quite a lot of Warden decks and the ladder was filled with Warden decks. Yeah, I think it was required. But, I'm sad about this, but I think it sadly needed to happen. I'm happy with this, and I'm happy with this. Okay, I pressed too many times because I got excited. Okay, Samira is finally getting another nerf because, oh my god, is she so fucking annoying. Flare is going to 2 mana. Like, they basically just killed Flare now. Like, Samira comes down on 2, you can laugh. You can play your 2-2. You can just, you can do whatever you want. Your units aren't dying. Then Samira is changing, she's getting like a new line of text to say if you have a Flare after striking or summoned, instead reduce its cost by 1. So, basically, this card now is 2 mana, then this is 2 mana, and then she strikes, and then it goes to 1 mana. So she won't be getting the challenges the turn that she comes down, but she might still be able to attack. They still have the 1 mana cards, like they can bait if you like block with like a 2-3, and she attacks. You still might think they have an all out. So this still it's like the Akshan with like Shapestone scenario, but we'll just have to wait and see. But and then my head's cutting it off, but it reduces its cost by 2 if if she thinks. I don't know if that means that she's no longer making a 0 cost one, because like it doesn't say that in the thing. So we'll just have to wait and see what actually is going on with this. Maybe I'll have to redo this graphic. The next one, Wildfire to 2 mana. Good. I hated this card. It was pulling wins out of its ass most games. Like, I don't like playing against aggro anyway. So, yep, I think this was deserved. I think it does see a lot less play now. Maybe there's another Wildfire deck that pops up down the line. But for now, it had its fun. You can rest easy. Exalted Cloud Winder is losing 1 attack, which is interesting. I didn't think that's what they were going to do to it. So, I mean, it's just less damage to the face. You can block it with, like, bigger units now and don't have to worry as much. Sure, I like this change. I definitely think it was the card that needed to get hit, so we'll just have to wait and see how the deck does now. Sting Officer, specifically, they talked about it in the patch notes, that it was being used in elusives too easily. Surprise, surprise. Unit with elusive becomes a problem down the line. And the Sting Officer is it's his time to be demoted to a 1-2, which is probably not that bad, honestly. Like, you can play this now, you don't have to worry that you're gonna get pinged by like Pytos and all the other one things like Tidal Invocation, all of those stuff. But for Flash Bomb decks, this is a buff. For elusive decks, they deal 1 less damage each turn, so it's like it's kind of impactful, but like it's harder to kill that unit then. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm on the fence with this one. Next one. Thank you. Runaway Scrap Trap has no longer has Brash. This card, this 6/6 that you always see in turn 3, you can block it with any unit now. Thank God. Thank God. And then to go with that, this fucking rat tech thing is no longer making everything huge. It's making them huge, but you can deal with them. No more 9/4 elusive turrets that you can't like remove. Like, God, I really dislike this card. So we'll just have to wait and see. Swindle, which is interesting because many months ago, Kuvi was talking to me about Swindle, saying that this card was extremely toxic and it'll be nerfed in the future. And I was like, yeah, you kind of make some sense. So instead of manifesting and seeing 3 cards at the opponent, they're just going to see 2. It basically they lose all of that. Also, if you hear some shouting, my brother is doing a live stream, so that's why he's screaming, and he does it as a real job. So I kind of have to let him just scream all he wants because he needs the money. But yeah, so you lose options here. So yeah, I like this, love this, and I love this. I absolutely despise Heimer Jace. I think Heimerdinger and Jace is just it's just pass until you can safely play your Heimerdinger, because it's like, okay, if I'm a mid-range deck, I'm gonna have to play units, and when I play a unit, they just like, they play a card, and they'll put, like, I play Garen on 5, they play Heimer on 5, and then it's like, okay, well, if I can't kill you this turn, and I can't remove this Heimerdinger now, like, you're just gonna keep generating stuff at like burst speed, and I'm like, you're also then gonna remove my units and get units ahead. No, I just do not like the deck. But yeah, next change, Valley of Imitation is going to 4 mana. I think this is specifically so that you can't do the Knack Attack thing anymore. So you can't 3 Valley and then 4 Knack Attack. You'll have to 4 Valley and 5 Knack Attack, which just like really delays the deck. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see, but it probably kills the version of Nidalee right now. Potentially, we will see. But yeah, we'll just have to see. Cobra is going from the first time you summon a follower to the first time you play a follower. I think this is specifically for Shimon Wind, so that the board doesn't immediately get all elusive. I think that's what they're talking about when they're trying to nerf this. You can still do the Cobra. Oh, hold on. First time you play, maybe this doesn't fill the board anymore, because it doesn't, because you play a Cobra and then the Cobra realizes you played that, so it copies it, but then the Cobra that you played doesn't see you play that Cobra, it sees you oh wait, I just realized what this actually does. Yeah, this no longer fills the board. Very interesting. And that was an intentional design, I'm fairly sure. So interesting. I thought it was just so that you couldn't burst give it elusive anymore. But no, you can't even get the full board thing anymore. Wow. Okay, Cobra's dead. What does Cobra do now? If Cobra can't do the board thing, like if Cobra doesn't see a deck, it's too expensive. Change it to like 6 cost, and then it'll probably see play. But yeah, get by Cobra. Watchful Idol, yeah, it's just gonna give you a 2/2 now, which is like good, because like this card is like obscene in like Alawi decks. That you can give Swain some stuff now, because like this doesn't deal 2 damage anymore, so like Swain's level up is now even harder to achieve, because we've seen the buffs, Swain isn't getting a buff, so Swain is even more like unlikely to get to level, so we'll just have to wait and see. But good change. Fuck this card. And then this is the last change. The Lurk change. Everyone was saying like Lurk was broken, something that needed to happen to Lurk. I was going to say that they were going to hit Rek'Sai's attack. Nope, they're just going to Pike. You've been bad. You've been a bad boy. You're going to 5 mana now, which is not what I expected at all. I don't think that was anywhere on my list. Like, they already hit him. He had 2 attack in the past, but not anymore. And that also impacts the Death from Below, which is now 5 mana. So, very interesting. This is definitely going to impact. Like, a straight mana increase has always, like, done really big damage to cards. So yes, we will just have to wait and see. And I do believe that is the last change. So if I quickly go back to the preview at the very start, the one thing I talked about was momentous change, momentous choice, which is being bug fixed here. Yeah, it's basically if you had 2 mana and it said 1 mana, it would take 2 mana. It no longer will do that. If the card says 1 mana, it will be 1 mana. So apart from that, I will quickly just go over the cards that I will be building decks around. Lord Eldred, he's very cool now. I'm going to run him in Formidables. I'm going to try and build some Demacia deck with him. He's very cool. Tusk Raider, I mean, it's just funny, big stats. I'm a Demacia fan, so big stats is good. Maybe we can do build a deck with both of these. That'll be stupid because they're both like ridiculously high costs, but we'll see. I like Exhaust, but maybe we can build a Renekton deck with this. I'm building a Gemcrafter deck. Kane's Shadow Step is like, I can't believe this is going to 3 mana. Like, the fact this is just going to 3 mana is crazy. Absolutely crazy. I cannot understand. Like, the amount of games that on 5 I have 3 mana banked, and I'd like double draw Kane because of the way he draws himself is like, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for me. We're going to be good. I'm currently Diamond 2 at the time of recording this. I've not really been trying to push. I've just been playing games, seeing how it's been going. And with a lot of these decks dying, who knows? I might be getting Masters soon. I might be getting Masters soon. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this very, very quick patch rundown with my opinions on what stuff does. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in a month's time, which we will be getting the 4.11 changes. And then that will give us Standard, potentially, and it's mainly Eternal, but there's potential that we see some Standard cards get buffed as well. So we'll just have to wait and see. So yeah, thank you for watching the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye!